How's it going, bro? So this video probably won't be useful to many of you watching my channel. Actually, I imagine this particular video would attract other audiences that don't really have a deep interest in my channel, but maybe a few of you would, so welcome if you're new here. Uh, at this stage, most people would be new, I'm relatively new, but nonetheless, how to cure your counting OCD. Now, what I mean by this, to see if we have the same thing that we're talking about, was for a long time, I would say from around April of 2020, the year COVID started, and probably ending February, March, around about there of last year, so 2023 now. I had counting OCD. Counting OCD, the way I had it at least, was kind of hard to explain to an outsider, but it was, I would be sitting, not generally when I'm not doing much, and that's important to note, I'm going to get into that just now, but generally not doing much, and out of nowhere my brain was like, hey, think of 10 thoughts and start counting to 10 and number your thoughts. Random thoughts about, I don't know, your schoolwork or any topic really. And obviously this was quite uncomfortable urge to deal with, in the sense that it was coming out of nowhere, and you felt this deep discomfort in your body, even your mind, if you didn't give in to that urge and start doing this counting thing and count 10 times, 20 times, however many times your brain told you to. And it got to the point where, very early on actually, back in 2020 already, where my brain was often fatigued, almost like I hadn't slept for days and I had been studying non-stop. That sort of feeling, it was quite rough. And I looked up online how to cure it, and nothing helped. And it's not so much a matter of I thinking the advice online is useless. I think it's rather that I had a very specific problem that I really don't imagine many people have. I don't expect this video to get many views, but if you are like me who had that sort of problem, this is what I did. I haven't had those problems for a good few months now, closing in on a year. And for me, the most important thing was, at least initially, not long term, but initially was make sure you're busy, but busy with something you enjoy. Now, I think for me, a big factor was in 2021 and 2022, I was studying a degree, or studying for a degree at university that I wouldn't say didn't enjoy, but arguably you could sum it up to me not enjoying it. And I wasn't really, a flow state. I wasn't hitting a flow state when studying the work. And because of that, your mind would wander, and then this counting thing starts. So for me, it's most important thing, find a way to get into your flow state. I pretty sure I'm going to make a video on that at some point, so be on the lookout for that. But find a way to be in your flow state, and most of the time then the counting thing won't come up, but there will occasionally, not very often, but there will be times when it does. That's when meditation comes in. If you meditate, it's almost like you get a pause between your thoughts and you actually upon your thoughts. So what's happened over me meditating for quite a while now is, if I used to get that urge to do this counter thing, it would be like, hold up, that is a very weird thought. Why would you want to do that? And that sort of realization wasn't happening in the past. So for me, I would say meditation 100% was what, not cured on its own, but definitely was a big step in curing that for me. I think another thing that would be of use to you, didn't make a huge impact, but definitely did make an impact to me, is working out. I think a big thing that happened to me personally, and maybe it's happened to you, was prior to COVID hitting, I was quite an active guy, in the sense that I used to play sports for my school, as an example, and I was generally an active guy. When COVID hit though, I was no longer as active as what I was. And I think that had an impact, and ultimately what causes. So I have, for the past 14 months, I have been working out, and I've seen a very marginal but an improvement nonetheless from that. And I think the final one that I think this is the general cure to any sort of OCD, but say you get that counting urge now. Don't do anything. Don't start doing the counting thing. Yes, it will feel uncomfortable. Yes, you really want to do it, but don't. And it will take you a while to get to a point where you don't do it, but trust me, push for that point. Because after a while of not doing it, you'll see that, hey, I didn't do it, man, I feel fine. Your body will be uncomfortable for maybe a minute. After that, you've moved on. So, yeah, again, I don't think this is something many people would have dealt with. It's quite a niche thing, I would imagine, but if you also are dealing with this or know somebody who is, I hope this is of value to them and actually gets them to a point where they're no longer doing it. I wish you all the best.